If you want to get into music production, this series will cover the 6 major learning curves you'll conquer along the way. First up, your primary tool, the digital audio workstation. Let's go. Hi everybody, I'm Peter Elfman from Stereostatic. I'm a novice music producer making videos for producers starting out just like I am. Vlog date 2024-01.18. I forgot today's date. Happy New Year! This is the first video of the year. How are you doing? How am I doing? I'm coming in a little bit late. I apologize. I had to do some behind the scenes work just to kind of facilitate getting my projects moving forward in general. Speaking of projects, I'm working on a new song. It's a cover, kind of like my last one. I'm aiming to have that done by the end of the month. More on that soon. What are we talking about today? Today we're talking about learning curves of music production, specifically your digital audio workstation. This series is inspired by my friend Trev. If you're thinking about getting into music production like he is, I'm putting this together to help you manage expectations and avoid potential unpleasant surprises. Basically, this is everything I wish I knew when I had first started way back in the day. The first and arguably most important curve you'll conquer in your journey, like I said in the opening, is your digital audio workstation, sometimes referred to as the DAW. There are a bunch of them out there. Some you've heard of, many you haven't. They all primarily do the same thing. The major differences between them are their workflow, the quality of their pack-in plugins, and their periphery capabilities. If you're starting out and you just want to dip your toe in the water, there are a whole pile of free ones out there. Grab any of them to cut your teeth. Try out a few of them. You'll figure out which ones work best for you. I have a list from bedroom producers of 17 free DAWs. That list gets expanded when you include DAWs that come packed in with hardware, which is how I got what I'm using. I'll put a link in the description for a bedroom producers list. Now, it's very common for producers to try out different DAWs and to actively use multiple DAWs. I started out way back in the day with Kinetic, made by Cakewalk, which is now defunct. I then moved to Acid Pro when my ambition outgrew Kinetic's capability. At the time, Acid Pro was being published by Sony. Yes, that's Sony. And when I got back into music production about 4 years ago, I went back to Acid Pro, and at that point it was made by Magix, who also makes Music Maker, which is on the list of free DAWs to try out. And then after a couple months, I bought an audio interface, and that came with PreSonus Studio One, and that has become my primary DAW. But I still use Acid Pro because it's got some instrument plugins that I can't really transfer over that I really, really like. As I move through my career, I expect to be learning at least one more. Pro Tools is still predominantly used in a lot of professional studios, and that's the intended trajectory of my career. Now, like every skill, mastering a DAW means mastering a number of smaller skills. In particular, you're gonna get good with a compressor, an equalizer, and multiple effect plugins, the basics of which are the delay, reverb, flanger, and phaser. There are, of course, a gazillion other effect plugins out there, but those are the basics that everyone should have down. Once you're comfortable working in your DAW, those production skills will open up a lot of other possibilities for you. Check out my Your DAW is a Magic Gateway video for more on that. Alright, short and sweet. That's it for now. If you've got any questions, hit me up in the comments. You can find some links below to some of the things I've mentioned, and I'll be back for part 2. I've been Peter Elfman from Stereostatic. Don't take any shit from anybody, and you'll see me in the next one.